I want you to picture a man driving a brand new Tesla, wearing a designer tee, pulling into a luxury high-rise in Austin. He just deposited a $10,000 paycheck this morning, but as he checks his banking app, his stomach drops. After the mortgage, the car note, and the private school fees, his balance is exactly $142. He's not broke in the traditional sense, but he's drowning. Welcome to the era of the six-figure poor. This is why earning $120,000 a year feels like poverty in 2026. Most people hear the number $120,000 and think rich. They imagine a life of ease, freedom, and overflowing savings accounts. But for many people living in cities like Austin, Seattle, or San Francisco, that number is a mathematical illusion. Let's look at the cold, hard numbers. You start with $10,000 a month. Before you even see it, Uncle Sam takes his cut. Federal taxes, state taxes, FICA, and health insurance premiums immediately shave that down. If you're being responsible and contributing to your 401k, your actual take-home pay is likely closer to $6,500. Now, look at the landscape of your life. Rent for a decent two-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood is $3,000. That's nearly half your income gone on the first of the month. Add a $500 student loan payment, the price of the degree that earned you this salary in the first place. Then there's the car, not even a supercar. So just a reliable SUV with insurance and gas, which eats another $800. Suddenly you have $2,000 left for groceries, utilities, and life. One unexpected dental bill or a car repair, and you're put into a deficit. This is what I call the six-figure trap. When your income hits this level, society hands you a script. You're told you've made it, so you upgrade. You move from the one-bedroom to the luxury high-rise. You swap the 10-year-old sedan for the leased Tesla. These upgrades feel like progress, but they are actually wealth destruction disguised as success. You aren't building a net worth. You are simply acting as a high-volume transit station for money. The cash flows from your employer through your bank account and straight to your landlord and lenders. You are earning six figures, but you are living a life of high-end subsistence. You are just a wealthier version of the person living paycheck to paycheck on $40,000 a year, only with more expensive toys to maintain and a much higher cost of failure. Why do 51% of people earning over $100,000 live paycheck to paycheck? It's a statistic that feels impossible until you look at the corners of their homes. This isn't a story about a lack of income. It's a story about a new normal that expands to consume every raise, every bonus, and every promotion. We call it lifestyle creep, but it functions more like a slow-moving parasite. Walk through their daily routine and you'll see the lifestyle multiplier effect in action. It starts with small, justifiable upgrades. A $200 a month boutique gym membership because you're a high performer now, even though you've only gone twice this month. You have 10 different streaming services because $5 here and $15 there feel invisible, yet they've replaced your ability to simply sit in silence. There are the $150 dinners on a Tuesday night, justified by the phrase, "I've worked hard, I deserve this." Look closer at their kitchen. Shocked you'll find a high-end espresso machine gathering dust because it was easier to buy a $7 latte on the way to the office. You'll see a closet full of clothes with the tags still attached, items bought for a version of yourself that only exists in your head. Every one of these purchases is a tiny anchor. Individually, they are light. Collectively, they are heavy enough to keep a six-figure earner submerged. The trap is that we don't realize these upgrades aren't improvements to our lives. They are just new baselines. Once you get used to the premium tier, the standard tier feels like a crisis. You aren't buying the item. You are buying a fragile image of yourself, an identity of success that requires constant financial fuel to maintain. You've built a life that is impressive to everyone except your bank account. Be honest with yourself. If you stopped spending money to impress people you don't even like, how much would you actually have left? You aren't buying freedom. You're buying a lifestyle you can't actually afford to keep. Look at any suburban office parking lot in America. You'll see them. $80,000 pickup trucks, lifted, polished, and gleaming. They have rugged tires, light bars, and massive beds. But look closer at those truck beds. They're spotless. Not a scratch, not a speck of dust, not a single piece of lumber has ever touched that factory fresh liner. In automotive circles, we call these Pavement Princesses. Machines engineered for the wilderness, none but destined for grocery runs and office commutes. The owner, earning a comfortable $120,000, is paying $1,200 a month for the privilege of looking capable of doing things they never actually do. They didn't buy a vehicle, they bought a social signal. But that signal comes with a staggering opportunity cost. If you invested that same $1,200 a month into an index fund at a 7% return, in 10 years, you'd have over $200,000. Instead, a decade from now, you'll have a $15,000 pile of depreciating metal and a lot of regret. Contrast this with the coworker earning $60,000, driving a 10-year-old Honda Civic that's been paid off for years. When they walk away from their car, they carry a quiet, invisible confidence. They don't care what the neighbors think. They don't feel their stomach knot up when they swipe their card at the pump or when the insurance bill arrives. Meanwhile, the person in the $80,000 truck is living in a state of high alert anxiety. They are succeeding visually but failing mathematically. We've been convinced that success must be performed. We upgrade the car, the watch, and the golf clubs because we believe that's what a six-figure earner should do. But these objects don't serve you. You serve them. You are working yourself to the bone just to maintain a collection of leather and steel that loses value every time you turn the key. Your car might be announcing your success to the neighborhood, but it's whispering your bankruptcy into your ear every night. The choice is simple. Do you want to own your life, or are you comfortable with your possessions owning you? So, how do you escape a six-figure nightmare? It starts with a fundamental shift in how you define a win. Most high earners think winning is increasing their purchasing power. In reality, winning is increasing your time sovereignty, the number of days you can live exactly as you choose without a paycheck. To get there, you need a framework that filters out the noise of 2026. First, apply the 24-hour rule for anything that isn't a basic necessity. That $400 designer jacket or the latest tech gadget, put it in your digital cart and walk away. If you don't feel a genuine pull to buy it tomorrow morning, you didn't want the item, you wanted the dopamine hit of the transaction. Ask yourself this tuitional question. If no one ever saw me with this item, would I still want to own it? Be honest. If the answer is no, you're just paying a status tax to people who aren't even paying attention to you. Second, understand the math of real use value. Stop looking at the price tag and start looking at the cost per use. A $200 kitchen appliance that sits on your counter, gathering dust, is infinitely more expensive than a $500 tool you use every single day. We are surrounded by what I call aspirational clutter. The bread makers, the fondue sets, the expensive camping gear. Items bought for a version of ourselves we wish we were, rather than who we actually are. Finally, aim for your Coast-Fire number. This is the moment your retirement accounts have enough principal that, without another cent contributed, they will grow to fund your entire future through pure compound interest. When you hit this number, the six-figure trap loses its power. You no longer have to endure a toxic job just to feed the lifestyle parasite. You realize that true wealth isn't the ability to spend more, it's the ability to work less. Redefine your success. Wealth is not a collection of stuff. It is the gap between your income and your ego. The wider that gap, the freer you are. Remember that man from the beginning? picture him again. This time, he's driving a 10-year-old sedan and living in a modest apartment. But the knot in his stomach is gone. He checks his balance and sees calm confidence, not a crisis. He stopped playing the game of appearances to win the game of freedom. An income of $120,000 can be a dream or a prison. The key is already in your pocket, not your bank account. You just have to decide which one you're building. The choice is yours.